once again. You are watching Riverside Talk. I am Marcia Littlejohn, and I am here with Belinda. Now, you may want to know her as Maria in West Side Story, on stage at Riverside Theatre as we speak. Belinda, it is wonderful to see you.
Thank you. It's wonderful to see you, too.
Do you know, when you walked in, I said West Side Story was one of my favorites. I think I've seen several shows on Broadway, and of course I always say Riverside Theatre is better than Broadway. But when I realized this is going to be so wonderful, and that you, playing the part of Maria, were going to be my guest on this particular edition of Riverside Talk. And I guess really what I'd love to do is, all of our viewers love to sit out there in the audience and say, oh yes, I learned a little bit more about that actress or actor. So tell me about your backstory. When did you get involved?
I actually didn't really get involved in theater until a couple years before college. It was sort of a fluke. I went to a camp that was a musical theater, Broadway type camp, and fell in love with it. And then ended up finding another camp that was taking place at the university I ended up attending.
And what was that?
Oklahoma City University.
Okay.
Yes. And so I fell in love with the school and the program, and most people focus on musical theater at least at the beginning of high school and then go towards it pretty focused, but I had no idea that that's what I wanted to do, and I kind of decided right before college, and here I am.
And here you are, playing the part of Maria in West Side Story. And I have to say, and for all of our viewers, you must not miss West Side Story. Because when you miss one of these wonderful productions on stage at Riverside, you really are disappointed in yourself. But in this case, you have until March the 15th. We were extended.
Yes.
So we get, because it's been so popular.
Yes.
So this has to be great for you as well. Now, when you're not here on Riverside stage, where are you?
I live in New York.
Uh-huh.
Yes. I live in Astoria, which I love. But yeah, I just audition, and I take a job if I get one, and audition when I'm not.
And where in Oklahoma were you from?
I actually grew up in Arkansas, and then went to college in Oklahoma City.
Oh, terrific. Have you played as Maria in West Side Story before?
I have not. This is my first production of West Side Story, period.
What does that do? I'd love for our viewers to understand a little bit more about what you feel, because now you're taking that very important part of Maria in West Side Story, one of the classics in all time. What does it do to you when you think, I am going to be on stage?
It's thrilling, and it's definitely doing a show this beautifully written and a role this beautiful is definitely an honor as an artist, because it makes my job easier because it's so beautifully done. And it also is just such a pleasure to share this story that is still relevant today.
Sure.
And will probably be relevant for the rest of eternity. Yeah, and it's incredible how, when it was written, it was about the Puerto Ricans and the Americans, or the Polish, and now there's still so many race issues going on, and there's always going to be conflict like that, unfortunately, in the world, but it always makes it relevant and always makes it accessible to every audience member. And it's really a pleasure to be able to share that.
I love hearing this from you, because of course knowing that you have recognized that, and when we realize West Side Story with that kind of, the Puerto Ricans and the Americans, or as you say, the Polish, and that whole story, but yet I always think music is what truly does make the world go round.
Absolutely.
And what are your favorite songs in West Side?
Oh gosh, everything's so beautiful. I think my favorite song is Somewhere, which I get to dance to that, which is amazing. And then my favorite song to sing would be Tonight with Tony. It's just a beautiful love duet, and it's hard to choose a favorite because everything is gorgeous and everything's fun to sing.
And so when we think about the music background here in this small, beautiful little town of Vero Beach, were you a little surprised to see what we had to offer?
Absolutely. It's gorgeous here, first of all.
Absolutely.
I love it here. And it's so nice to get away from the cold in New York.
Yes.
But it's a wonderful little town, and it's so amazing to see the community support the theater here. It really is a very exciting experience.
Well, of course, we're taping this edition of Riverside Talk just before the opening.
Yes.
So that has to be thrilling for you as well.
So
Did you walk
exciting.
through that magnificent lobby down there?
I did. It looks gorgeous.
Oh, that fabulous event that opens the show and opens so much of what goes on here at Riverside Theatre. And I guess when you think about the music, though, that is put together, who is your music, I want to say choreographer, but that's the dancer.
Director, our music
the director,
director?
yes.
Yeah, Ken Clifton.
Oh,
yes.
you can't get any better than
He's
that.
wonderful.
Absolutely.
He's wonderful.
And the set?
Oh gosh.
But is it beautiful?
Oh, it's stunning.
Ah.
It's stunning. And the lighting is gorgeous. Everything is just really top notch. And I was watching on the monitor during rehearsal a couple of days ago, and I was just blown away.
Well, you know, I love it too because John Moses, who does back stage.
Yes.
And you can go back there and see, my golly, you guys are really dancing. I mean, and so
the dancing
many,
is incredible.
Yes. Yeah. And you put it all with music, costuming.
Gorgeous.
Just beautiful.
Everything is just, every aspect of the show, on and off stage, the people that you see on stage and the people who aren't actually in the spotlight, everyone is really talented, and it's very exciting to see it.
How many? I was trying to count them. How many in the cast, approximately?
I think
know
it's
you probably
close
didn't
to
count them
30.
30.
Yeah,
getting the
quite
nod over
a-
here, but right, 30 of them. That means, I mean, there's activity all the time. So ladies and gentlemen, what you must remember, this is Riverside Theatre. And as I've often said, it's better than Broadway. But it brings Broadway right here to our own front yard, so to speak, right here at Riverside Theatre. And it will be extended because the season began, and we kept saying it was going to be March the 8th. It's going to be March the 13th. 15th. I'm sorry, 15th. We're getting it opened on the 17th of February, going through March the 15th, 17th. 15th. We're going to get this right. Riverside Theatre, opening with West Side Story, and this particular, I guess really right almost to the end of the season.
Almost, yes.
And this is going to be extended right on to March the 15th, so you don't want to miss it. So remember, everybody, come and see Belinda Allyn, and of course she plays the part of Maria, and your favorite song is Somewhere, love that. And what do you like to dance to the most?
Well, I don't do too much dancing, and so most of my dancing's in Somewhere, and it's just a beautiful song.
If there is one thing you have learned in the world of theater, in performing Maria in West Side Story on stage at Riverside Theatre, what would it be?
I think that it would be honesty and love is such an important part of being a good actor, and it's also such an important part of being a good human being, and so it's really cool to be able to take a character who's so full of honesty and love and bring her to the stage.
Oh. As I say, better than Broadway, and you can't get any better than Belinda Allyn playing the part of Maria in West Side Story. So beautifully said, and can't wait to see you on stage, as will all of you be so thrilled. Don't forget, Riverside Theatre running right on through to March the 15th. March the 15th, extended, so you get a chance to be there. Remember, you've been watching Riverside Talk. I'm Marcia Littlejohn. We'll see you at Riverside Theatre.